Have you ever eaten something that looked perfectly healthy and harmless only to find out later it may have been quietly damaging your kidneys? It sounds unbelievable, but for millions of people, especially older adults, this silent damage happens every single day. And the scariest part is that it doesn't come with pain or warnings or symptoms. It just keeps building until one morning your doctor looks at your lab results and says words you never expected to hear. Your creatinine is rising. We need to talk about kidney decline. I'm Dr. Johnny, and after 15 years of treating kidney patients, I can tell you this with complete honesty. Most people don't lose their kidney health because of one big mistake. They lose it because of tiny everyday choices, snacks habits, healthy foods that stack up and silently push the kidneys closer to trouble. But here's the hope you've been needing once you understand which foods are quietly harming you and which ones actually help you heal. You can take back control faster than you think. Today I'm going to show you 6 powerful snacks that don't just taste good. They help lower creatinine, calm inflammation, and support your kidneys in ways most people have never been told. And before we dive in, I want you to stay with me carefully, because what I'm about to explain might completely change the way you look at your kitchen. Some foods disguise themselves as safe, but the truth beneath them tells a different story. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your daily snacks the same way again. Now let's step into the first one, because chances are it's already sitting in your home, waiting to either help your kidneys or push them in the wrong direction. When most people crave something sweet, they reach for fruit without a second thought. It feels safe, it feels natural, and for years we were told that fruit can't hurt you. But if your kidneys are struggling, that idea is dangerously outdated. I still remember a patient of mine, Robert, 67 years old, retired postal worker, who proudly told me he had replaced cookies with bananas and big bowls of watermelon because he wanted to eat clean. Yet his potassium levels quietly crept into the danger zone, and by the time he felt the fatigue and muscle tightness, his creatinine had already spiked. And that's the hidden truth: some fruits nourish the kidneys, while others silently overwhelm them. So let's clear the confusion. The safest fruits for protecting your kidneys and actually lowering inflammation are the low-potassium, high antioxidant heroes: apples, blueberries, strawberries, grapes, and pineapple. Apples bring quercetin, a compound proven to reduce oxidative stress in kidney cells. Blueberries, a Harvard study, shows they can reduce the risk of kidney disease by up to 23% thanks to their anthocyanins. Grapes offer hydration plus resveratrol to calm inflammation. And pineapple gives you sweetness with a potassium load your kidneys can comfortably handle. But the real magic is in the portions: half a cup of berries, 1 small apple, or around 15 grapes. In this sweet spot, your kidneys get nourishment instead of overload, stability instead of stress. And if you want a small secret, I give my patients warm cinnamon-baked apples with a spoon of coconut yogurt. It's soothing, low in potassium, and doesn't spike your blood sugar, a perfect evening or mid-morning snack. But more importantly, I want you to remember this fruit is not just food, it's chemistry. Every bite sends signals to your kidneys, your blood vessels, your filtration system. Eating the right fruits gives your kidneys a chance to breathe, a chance to heal, a chance to catch up with the work they've been forced to do for years. But just knowing this isn't enough, because sweetness alone won't stabilize your cravings or protect you from the hidden traps inside most crunchy snacks. And the next food on this list might shock you with how powerful and misunderstood it really is. If you're someone who craves something crunchy in the afternoon, you're not alone. That 3 p.m. moment hits almost everyone. Your hands want movement, your mouth wants texture, and your brain wants a quick reward. But here's the problem. Most people reach for the usual suspects: chips, crackers, salted snacks that flood your kidneys with sodium, and preservatives they were never designed to handle. I once had a patient named Linda who swore she barely ate anything bad, but she snacked on flavored popcorn bags every evening. When we switched her to clean air-popped popcorn, her blood pressure dropped within 2 weeks, and her swelling around the ankles dramatically improved. And that's because real popcorn, the kind made from whole kernels, no butter bombs, no chemical coatings, is shockingly kidney-friendly. 3 cups give you only about 90 milliliters of potassium and almost 0 phosphorus. That's rare in the snack world. Even better, popcorn is loaded with fiber that helps stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support gut health, something kidney patients desperately need. A study from the Journal of Nutrition even shows higher fiber intake is linked to lower uremic toxin levels, meaning your kidneys don't have to clean as much waste. And you can flavor it however you like: cinnamon for warmth, garlic powder for savory comfort, or nutritional yeast for a cheesy kidney-safe twist. All the crunch, none of the damage. But here's what most people don't realize. Crunch isn't just a snack preference, it's a psychological signal. That crisp sound tells the brain you're satisfied, you're grounded, you're in control, and it helps stop emotional or unconscious overeating. When you pair a safe food with a sensory cue like crunch, you're giving your kidneys a break and giving your mind a tool to calm cravings. It's a double win that's far more powerful than people think. But only understanding the power of crunch isn't enough, because the next snack on this list mixes creamy and crunchy into a combination that transforms your energy, your hunger, and the way your kidneys handle daily stress. So stay with me, because what comes next is even more surprising. When you've satisfied your sweet craving and calmed your need for crunch, there's another kind of hunger that often sneaks in, the one that hits an hour after you thought you were full. It's that I need something steady feeling, the kind that makes people over 60 reach for crackers, pastries, or anything quick because their energy suddenly drops. But what your kidneys actually need in that moment isn't a sugar spike or a salty trap. They need balance. That's where one of the simplest but smartest combinations comes in: a brown rice cake paired with natural peanut butter. It looks humble, almost too simple to matter, but for many of my patients, it became their most reliable kidney-safe energy anchor. Take Michael, for example, a 72-year-old grandfather who struggled with late afternoon crashes so severe he thought it was just old age. But when we swapped his processed snacks for this cleaner combo, something remarkable happened. His blood sugar stabilized, his cravings disappeared, and most importantly, his labs finally stopped swinging out of control. And there's science behind this. Brown rice is a whole grain with fiber that slows digestion, reduces inflammation, and supports steadier glucose levels. Pair that with natural peanut butter, just peanuts, no sugar, no hydrogenated oils, and you get healthy fats plus plant-based protein that keep you full without stressing your kidneys. This combination creates what I call a metabolic glide, where your energy rises gently and lands gently without forcing your kidneys to deal with acidic waste or artificial additives. And if you want to elevate it, sprinkle cinnamon on top for better blood sugar control, or add a dusting of unsweetened cacao for antioxidants. It's clean, it's satisfying, and it gives your kidneys a chance to work in peace instead of panic. Most people underestimate how powerful the right mix of carbs, protein, and healthy fats can be, especially when the kidneys are already under pressure. But once you feel how steady your body becomes, you'll understand why I recommend this to almost every patient trying to protect their filtration rate. But just knowing this still isn't enough, because the next snack depends on choosing the right kind of fats, and choosing wrong can quietly push your potassium and phosphorus into the danger zone. What comes next is where most people make their biggest mistake, and you don't want to miss it. Now, once your body starts finding steadier energy, there's a moment when most people unconsciously reach for something quick: a handful of nuts. It feels healthy, it feels natural, it feels like the adult snack we were all told to choose. But here's the quiet danger: most nuts are not kidney-friendly, and choosing the wrong ones can raise your phosphorus and potassium levels faster than you'd ever expect. I had a patient, Mark, who truly believed he was doing everything right. He cut sugar, avoided chips, stopped eating processed snacks, but he grabbed a handful of pistachios every night while watching the news. 6 months later, his phosphorus levels were climbing, his ankles were swelling, and he kept wondering why he felt more tired despite eating clean. The truth was hidden in that innocent handful. This is why the right nuts matter, and almonds and macadamias are the ones I trust most for kidney patients. Almonds deliver vitamin E and antioxidants that protect kidney cells from ongoing oxidative stress. 10 almonds give you a safe potassium load around 75 milligrams and a manageable phosphorus amount. Macadamias take it one step further. They're among the lowest potassium nuts available, and they're loaded with monounsaturated fats, the kind that support heart function without overwhelming your kidneys. In fact, studies show that diets richer in monounsaturated fats help reduce systemic inflammation, something every kidney patient struggles with. And unlike flavored nut mixes drenched in oil, sugars, and preservatives, raw almonds and macadamias Give your kidneys clean fuel without extra metabolic burden. One of my favorite tricks is blending raw macadamias or almonds into a smooth homemade nut butter. No salt, no additives, no chemicals. Just pure creamy energy that you can spread over apple slices for a doubly kidney-safe snack. The way your body responds to cleaner fats is immediate, steadier hunger cues, calmer digestion, and less pressure on your filtration system. But here's what people rarely understand. Nuts aren't just food. They're information. They tell your kidneys how much work to do, how much stress to absorb, and how much inflammation to fight. Choosing the right handful isn't a detail. It's a decision that shapes your entire healing rhythm. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because the next snack depends on freshness, hydration, and a creamy balance most people overlook, and missing it can quietly sabotage your progress in ways far more dangerous than they seem at first glance. After giving your body the clean fats it needs, there comes a moment when your system asks for something lighter, something refreshing, crisp, hydrating. And this is where most kidney patients accidentally sabotage their progress by reaching for salty crackers, flavored veggie sticks, or dips packed with preservatives. But the truth is, your kidneys thrive on foods that hydrate and cleanse at the same time. That's why one of the simplest, most overlooked combinations, carrot sticks, cucumber slices, and a clean homemade hummus, can transform your afternoon cravings into kidney-supportive fuel. I once had a patient named Evelyn who struggled with bloating and afternoon fatigue for years. When she switched to this fresh combo, her swelling reduced within days, and for the first time in months, she said she felt light instead of heavy. There's real science behind it. Carrots and cucumbers are naturally low in potassium, high in water content, and rich in antioxidants that calm inflammation in kidney tissue. Their fiber helps stabilize digestion and slow the absorption of sugars, something critical for anyone managing blood pressure or diabetes alongside kidney issues. And hummus, when made correctly, becomes a perfect complement. Chickpeas provide plant-based protein, olive oil offers anti-inflammatory, monounsaturated fats, and lemon adds a gentle alkalizing effect that supports your filtration system. The problem is that store-bought hummus is often loaded with sodium and phosphorus additives, exactly the ingredients that push kidney function downhill. That's why I always tell my patients, blend your own. It takes 2 minutes, gives you total control, and your kidneys will feel the difference almost immediately. Even soaking your veggie sticks in ice water for 10 minutes can sharpen their texture and make the snack more satisfying. And here's something subtle but powerful: the act of dipping slows you down. It forces your nervous system into a calmer rhythm, helping your kidneys operate with less physiological stress. Sometimes healing isn't just about what you eat, but how your body experiences it. And when you combine hydration, fiber, and gentle protein like this, you create a moment of balance your kidneys silently thank you for. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because the next food doesn't just support your kidneys, it actively repairs them by giving your body the cleanest protein it can get. And missing it could mean losing one of the most powerful healing tools available. And then there's the moment your body isn't asking for sweetness, crunch, or freshness, it's asking for true repair. When your muscles feel weaker, your energy dips deeper, or your recovery takes longer than it should, that's your body sending a quiet but urgent message: you need clean protein. Not the heavy kind that leaves behind acidic waste, not the high phosphorus meats that force your kidneys to work overtime, but a source of protein so gentle, so clean, so efficient that your kidneys hardly feel the load at all. That's exactly why egg whites remain one of the most powerful healing foods I recommend to my patients. I've seen it over and over, like with Tom, a 74-year-old former carpenter whose creatinine kept creeping up no matter how many foods he eliminated. But once we replaced his processed proteins with a simple routine of 3 to 4 egg whites a day, his energy lifted, his swelling reduced, and his numbers finally stabilized. Here's the science behind that transformation. Egg whites contain complete protein, about 7 grams per 2 whites, with virtually no fat, almost no phosphorus, and 0 cholesterol. They're one of the only foods with a biological value of 100, meaning your body absorbs the protein almost perfectly without leaving behind metabolic waste that overwhelms your kidneys. This is incredibly important because most meats produce nitrogen byproducts that failing kidneys struggle to filter. And unlike whey protein powders, which can spike creatinine, due to highly concentrated nitrogen, egg whites fuel your muscles without stressing your filtration system. You can boil them, scramble them with parsley or chives, or bake them into small, fluffy omelets, whatever feels comforting and easy for your routine. And here's a small detail most people forget: skip the yolks. They're rich in phosphorus and cholesterol, things your kidneys don't need extra of right now. Sticking to whites keeps your nutrition clean, predictable, and safe. And if you want to amplify the benefit, pair your egg whites with a sprinkle of anti-inflammatory herbs like garlic powder or turmeric. These micro choices create a healing environment inside your body, the kind that shifts your labs gently in the right direction. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because while egg whites repair, there's another protein that protects and calms inflammation in a completely different way. And if you've been told to avoid it, you might be missing one of the most kidney-friendly powerhouses available. Now let's talk about something most people never expect: a protein that doesn't just support your kidneys but actively soothes them. Tofu has a reputation. Some people love it, some avoid it, and many assume it's too bland to matter. But what most kidney patients don't realize is that tofu is one of the cleanest, most anti-inflammatory proteins you can put into your body. I remember a patient named Clara, 69 years old, who told me she didn't trust tofu because she thought it was too processed. Yet when we finally introduced it into her meals, lightly marinated, baked until golden, the change in her swelling and fatigue was undeniable. Her labs improved, her digestion calmed, and she said she felt lighter in her kidneys, a phrase I'll never forget. The science behind this is incredibly compelling. Tofu is naturally low in phosphorus and low in potassium, two minerals that damaged kidneys struggle to handle. It delivers clean plant-based protein without producing the acidic waste that comes from red meats or processed animal proteins. Even more importantly, tofu contains isoflavones, powerful plant compounds shown to reduce inflammation in kidney tissue and improve vascular health, both crucial for slowing kidney decline. A study in Frontiers in Pharmacology even suggests that soy-based proteins may lower markers of oxidative stress, giving your filtration system a break it desperately needs. When prepared correctly, pressed, marinated in olive oil, lemon juice, and kidney-safe herbs like basil or rosemary, then baked until crisp at the edges, tofu becomes not just edible, but genuinely delicious. And the ease of digestion matters more than people think. Your kidneys don't just filter blood, they respond to the overall stress levels inside your body. Heavy fatty proteins increase metabolic strain. Tofu does the opposite. It glides through your system, gently giving your kidneys room to recover. And when you pair tofu with steamed vegetables or quinoa, you create a healing plate that stabilizes blood sugar, reduces inflammation, and keeps your kidneys from being overwhelmed. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because the next protein doesn't live in the field. It swims in the water, and it may be the lightest, cleanest animal protein your kidneys have been waiting for. And sometimes you just want the comfort of real animal protein, the kind you can cook in minutes, the kind that feels familiar on your plate. But when your kidneys are already under pressure, most meats turn into a heavy burden your body can't afford. That's why tilapia stands out as one of the cleanest, gentlest animal proteins you can choose. It doesn't hit your system like beef or turkey, and it doesn't come with the phosphorus bomb hidden in many other fish. I remember a patient named Howard, 76 years old, who loved fish, but avoided it because he thought all seafood made the kidneys work harder. When I introduced him to tilapia, prepared simply with lemon and fresh herbs, his first reaction was, "This doesn't feel heavy at all," and his labs backed that feeling: lower phosphorus, steadier creatinine, calmer digestion. The reason tilapia works so well is simple science. A 4-ounce fill-in gives you around 22 grams of high-quality protein with far less phosphorus than salmon or red meat. It's low in fat, easy to digest, and rich in selenium and vitamin B12, nutrients your kidneys rely on for cellular repair and energy metabolism. Because tilapia is so mild, it doesn't require heavy sauces or salty marinades that can push your blood pressure up. When wrapped in parchment, paired with lemon slices, olive oil, and kidney-safe herbs, it becomes a light, moist, nutrient-dense meal that supports your kidneys instead of overwhelming them. And unlike many high-protein foods that leave behind acidic waste, tilapia is gentle on your filtration system, giving your kidneys a rare moment of relief. What makes it even more valuable is the way it fits seamlessly into a kidney-friendly rhythm of eating. You can enjoy it for lunch or dinner without worrying about hidden additives. And because it's easy to prepare, it helps patients stay consistent, something that matters far more than people realize. When your kidneys are vulnerable, consistency is healing. Gentle foods create gentle internal conditions, and tilapia gives you a way to nourish without pushing your numbers in the wrong direction. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because while tilapia gives you clean protein, there's a grain, or rather a seed, that offers both protein and fiber in a way that protects your kidneys on multiple levels. And missing it means losing one of the smartest carbohydrate choices you could ever make. And then there's a food that surprises almost everyone because it doesn't look like a grain, doesn't behave like a grain, and yet works better than half the healthy carbs people rely on. Quinoa may seem humble, but for kidney patients, it's one of the smartest staples you can put on your plate. It gives you protein, fiber, minerals, and steady energy without drowning your kidneys in potassium or phosphorus. I had a patient named Gloria 71 who believed rice was her only safe option because grains are simple. But her blood sugar kept jumping and her digestion never felt calm. When we replaced her white rice with quinoa, her glucose stabilized, her bloating eased, and she said her energy felt taller, like her body wasn't dragging her down anymore. The reason quinoa works so beautifully is because it's one of the few plant-based foods that offer complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to repair tissue and maintain strength. That's rare, especially for kidney patients who must reduce total protein while maximizing quality. A single cooked cup gives you about 8 grams of protein, along with a gentle fiber profile that helps reduce uric toxins by supporting healthy gut elimination. Even better, quinoa is naturally low in potassium and phosphorus, making it far safer than lentils, beans, or most whole grains. Studies in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism show that people who consume moderate amounts of quinoa often experience improved blood sugar control, lower inflammation, and better digestion, 3 major pillars of protecting kidney function long-term. And it's incredibly easy to prepare. Rinse it well to remove natural bitter compounds, simmer it in water or low-sodium vegetable broth for 15 minutes, and you'll have a fluffy, nutty base that pairs perfectly with roasted vegetables, tofu, or tilapia. For many of my patients, quinoa becomes the anchor food that keeps their meals balanced, their cravings steadier, and their kidneys less overwhelmed. It nourishes without burdening, supports without stressing, and offers a predictable, clean carbohydrate your body can rely on day after day. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because while these nourishing foods help your kidneys heal, the real danger hides inside the proteins most people trust, and what you're about to hear next may completely change how you look at your meals. But now we have to shift from nourishing foods to something far more serious, the proteins that silently sabotage kidney health even when the rest of your diet looks clean. And this is the part that catches almost every patient off guard. Because it isn't always the obvious junk foods that push creatinine up. Sometimes it's the foods that pretend to be healthy. I'll never forget James, a 63-year-old man, who told me proudly that he switched from pork bacon to turkey bacon because he wanted to make the smart choice. But his phosphorus and blood pressure kept climbing, and he felt more drained each week. When I checked the labels of the turkey bacon he was eating, the answer was right there in tiny print: phosphate additives, sodium levels through the roof, and chemical preservatives his kidneys had no chance of filtering efficiently. And it's not just turkey bacon. Red lentils, often seen as a health food, pack potassium and phosphorus so high that one bowl of soup can push a kidney patient into dangerous territory. Hot dogs, they're loaded with nitrates and phosphates that trigger inflammation and raise cancer risk. Whey protein isolates overwhelm the kidneys with concentrated nitrogen waste, especially after workouts when your filtration system is already stressed. Even canned black beans, which many people eat thinking they're plant-based and safe, can deliver over 600 microcalories of potassium in a single drained cup, plus hidden sodium that spikes blood pressure. And red meat, beef, steak roast creates acid load, uric acid, and metabolic waste that slowly wears your kidneys down like sandpaper on a filter that's already thinning. This is the part that hurts to say, but it's the truth. The dangerous proteins are not dangerous because of how they taste or how often you eat them. They're dangerous because of the chemical burden they put on kidneys that already struggle to keep up. Every additive, every preservative, every dense load of phosphorus or potassium becomes another task your kidneys have to perform. And over time, those tasks pile up until the system can no longer keep pace. And this is exactly why so many kidney patients decline faster even when they think they're eating healthy. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because even if you avoid all these dangerous proteins, there's still one daily habit, simple, free, and shockingly effective, that determines whether your kidneys stay stagnant or begin to heal. And if you miss it, you lose one of the most powerful recovery tools you have. You've already taken a powerful step just by listening, learning, and choosing to understand your kidneys better than you did yesterday. And I want you to remember, this healing doesn't happen through perfection. It happens through small, steady changes made by someone who cares enough to try. If all you do this week is swap one snack, avoid one harmful protein, or take one gentle morning walk, that alone can shift your numbers and change the direction of your health. You're doing more for yourself than most people ever will, and I'm proud of you for that. Before you go, make sure you save this video so you can come back whenever you need guidance or meal ideas. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because I share the newest, most practical kidney-safe tips every week, things that can genuinely help you protect your kidneys, lower your creatinine, and stay out of the danger zone. You deserve the right information at the right time, and I want to be here to support you through every step. And here's the most important thing I want you to carry with you. Your kidneys are not giving up on you. They respond to kindness, consistency, and care. No matter where your numbers are today, there is always hope, always room to improve, always another chance to rebuild your strength. We're in this together, one smart choice, one better day, one healthier future at a time.